Hello, magical tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI, It's a Brave New World, with me, BlueAnkylo. So, today I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about espers for the beginning of the episode, and then we will continue our adventure. Last episode we climbed the Tower of Zozo, or one of the large buildings in the city of Zozo, and we met Terra, who's been esperified. And then we picked up 4 other espers, and apparently we've got a quest to go to the Empire, which is in a different continent, and rescue them. Maybe that will help Terra out a little bit. So, in Brave New World, there's lots of changes to the esper system. First off, you can't just have anyone equip any esper. Every character has sort of their own sort of subset of which ones they can equip, and you can see quite easily at first glance who can equip what. There's also an Excel file, a spreadsheet that you can read if you're curious and you're trying to plan stuff out that comes with the mod. So, for instance, at the moment, Sabin can only equip the Stray Esper. Now, when you equip it, if you look at the top of the screen, you also get an extra bonus. This is not something that was in the base game, so just by equipping Stray, Sabin will get protection from Poison, Imp, and Berserk. That's pretty good. Now that that's equipped, so it says Stray is equipped on this screen. Now, whenever Sabin finishes a battle, he will gain 2 things. He'll gain Esper points, or Esper experience points, and as his Esper experience points gather up, he will get Esper level ups. The Esper level ups will show at the bottom here, unspent ELs, and you can click this button on any esper that you're allowed to equip to gain some permanent stats. So, for instance, Sabin can improve his stamina with every esper level. And interestingly enough, if you have multiple choices, so let's say Celeste equipped Siren, once she got an esper level up, she could choose, without having to re-equip her esper at all, she could choose to get the Siren level bonus, or the Ramu level bonus, depending on whatever she'd like. So there's no need to equip the one you want, which is something that happened in the original game. So there was no Esper level specifically in original Final Fantasy VI, but if you leveled up while you had an Esper equipped, you got the stat bonuses that that Esper provided. So low-level challenges became a little bit more important, because later on we'll have really good espers that give you really good stats, and early on you might not have the stats you want. That's not going to be an issue in Brave New World, and I really like that change. So we'll be getting some esper level ups pretty quickly early on, because there's a different level curve. Well, actually, the way it works out, the esper experience points is scaled to be the same as your normal experience points, but it caps at level 25. So, at this point in the game, like, 32 experience points is nothing. We're getting, like, 100 per fight or something. But, you don't get as many. You get your... When you win a battle, you get the normal experience points, then you divide that by 8 and multiply that by the magic points they would drop. We'll talk about that in a second. And that's how many Esper experience points you would get. So, it does... You get less, but it costs less to level up, is what I'm trying to say. So then, the other thing, every time you finish a battle, you'll get some Esper experience points. You'll also get some SP, or AP, whatever you want to call them, spell points. So it will show there on the top right. And similarly, you don't have to have the Esper equipped that you want to learn spells for to learn them anymore. You just need a Esper equipped. Any one Esper equipped will allow you to gain SP. And then let's say Celeste had like 10 SP. We could spend them to teach her slow, or without having to do anything special, she could learn Bolt 1 from Ramu. You wouldn't have to equip Ramu first, necessarily. So, that's just the way the system works. Hopefully that explains the majority of it. I think I talked about it a little bit more in-depth during my introduction video back at episode 0, if you're really curious. So anyway, for now, because Sabin can only equip 1, he'll have these 3 spells available once he's learned them, and that's all he'll get for now. Edgar is also limited to only Siren at the moment, so he'll be immune to Blind, Mute, and Muddle, and he can learn these 3 spells. And then, I believe Locke and Celeste each have a choice. So Locke can use Ramu or Kirin, and Celeste Well, could be Siren or Ramu, but seeing as we've already equipped Siren, she has to equip Ramu now. But she can still learn either set of spells. That's not a problem. And then the same thing with Locke. So your best bet is to make sure everyone's got one Esper equipped, so you're getting spell points and Esper levels, and then just teach spells as you see appropriate. Probably the 1 SP cost spells are the quickest ones to get. So, Locke has some pretty good spell selection here. Bolt and Life is all good stuff. Cure 2, Demi it's got lots of choices. And then, similarly, Celeste has a lot of spell choices. Again, all the Ramu stuff and the Siren stuff as well. The other characters are less magical in their options. And the last thing I did before we started this episode, I equipped the Thief's Glove, which turns steel into mug for now, and also gives him 25% more damage, which sounds really good, actually. And the Black Belt just gives him counterattacks and perfect accuracy. So I figured that's fine. Sabin is still our knight for defending, and hopefully that will work out. So let's head on back to Jidur. Nice to get into a battle or two on the way if we can. So, quick battle to show off our new stuff. Now that we've got Mug. Unfortunately, Mug won't work on monsters. I should have maybe kept that human alive. Alright, bio counter, of course. You'd think I'd learn. Ooh, that's the first time we've cracked over 1,000 damage, I think. So there you go. We got 1 spell point, which isn't much, but it is enough for people to learn, like, a spell. Like that. If you've got a 1 SP spell, which is just Ramu or Kirin, I guess. So there. Now, finally, Locke can actually cast magic. And he can be our secondary healer now. Now, he won't be nearly as good at it as Celeste unless you pump up his magic stat. 35 magic compared to 56. You know, she'll do a lot more... Oh, also we're poisoned. She'll do a lot more healing than he will. Oops, wrong one. Alright. Maybe we'll get like 1 Esper level up on the way back to Jidur. That'd be nice. Alright, we're gonna try off our Mug. Stole a Slim Jim, and then should be nothing left to steal. And if Mug is successful, you still get your turn right back, same as Steal. So, you have the opportunity to get quite a few... She used Runic there, that's great. You still have the opportunity to get quite a few extra attacks in if you're fighting humans. If you're fighting monsters, you know, the Mug is not going to be as good. And we can see that with a couple level ups, compared to the last time we walked through this, we did some of these battles, things are a little bit easier. I think everyone's basically ready for an Esper level, which is good, because I want to show that off. So I won't usually be learning spells as soon as we can like this. I'll probably forget about our SP, and if I need to grind, I'll do it between episodes. But it's nice to show off how it works now, at least, right? So, you know, it won't be too long before Edgar can learn the mostly useless mute spell. At least it targets all foes by default now. And Float would be nice, actually. So there's some good stuff that we can get. And Warp is nice to escape dungeons, actually, so... It just means, I want 1 Esper level. 1 more battle, please. It's just nice that the characters have different sort of abilities now. They're no longer able to learn everything. So there's different value in different parties, basically. Now, I believe that attack would normally cause Berserk or Muddle, but because of the Stray, the Esper Stray being equipped, Sabin is immune to it, which is pretty cool. And you can see Locke getting all his extra attacks. Now, on his normal attacks, he still has a chance to steal, although that's only limited for the limited time special, basically. There's all our Esper levels. Actually, there's one more thing with Espers I should show off. So, now that we've got an Esper level, you can see it on the status screen there. Level 16, Esper level 1. And same as before, more experience to keep leveling it up. So, now we can spend those points to give our characters bonus stats. Now, it depends on how you want to play the game. You could store up those Esper levels until you get the Esper you want that gives you the correct status bonuses. Because some Espers give far more useful abilities than this. Like, for Sabin, +2 stamina doesn't do much. It'll make his Fire Dance and his Aura Bolt a bit better. And it might reduce some incoming physical damage a bit. Mostly it would make him a bit stronger against status ailments, but overall it's not necessarily all that useful for him. I mean, you can see, I would prefer, like, Speed or Vigor for him. Now, I know eventually he'll get an Esper that gives him Vigor, and that would be more useful if you like physically attacking, basically. Also, I would say one of the best Esper abilities is plus HP. So, for instance, Locke he's the only one in the team that can use Kieran. That +5 magic is also pretty nice for him. But if he levels up this, +30 max HP, now late game is not that big of a difference, but early game, a few of those Esper levels is a big deal. So I really like focusing on bonus HP early on, and then later on in the game we'll have a chance to reset them anyway if we want to, which we will. So that's that. Otherwise, I don't know if I'll necessarily spend too much. Like, I feel like Celeste is still primarily a caster, so her Vigor doesn't necessarily help me. Like, you could build her into a more melee swords character, but for me, she's probably not going to do that. Magic and Speed, though, will serve her well. And then, sort of the opposite of that is, Edgar is not really a magic character for me. He's more focused on his physical stuff, but I'm going to give him a couple points in Siren for now, because it will make him faster, which helps. And I believe magic will help him with his Bioblaster, which is definitely something that is nice to have. Alright, so that's covered. Now let's... Oh, well, there's some more stuff we can show off in a minute. Welcome to Jador. Right, yeah. There is one other aspect of Espers that I forgot to show off. We'll do that in a minute. I do love Espers. It takes a while to get them in the game, but now that we've got them, tactical options start expanding very quickly. A lot more options for how to win your combat. So remember, story-wise, our goal is to get to the center of the Empire, and we need to find a way to get there. Unfortunately, ships are not departing from anywhere on our continent that will go to the Empire. Also, previously, you would go to this auction house and spend money to try to buy interesting things. This guy tells us to go talk to an old man up north. Maybe we should do that. And we've been to Zozo before. But what we need to do is head up here. Check out Owzer's mansion. And meet the impresario. So something's afoot with the opera. There's a little pose. Yeah. Famous opera singer. Perhaps one of my favorite Final Fantasy VI sections is coming up soon. Dancho? I think that's Impresario's first name, I believe. Yeah, there we go. It's probably some sort of in-joke from somewhere. My dear Maria, I want you for my wife. I'm coming for you. The Wandering Gambler. You born on a farm, son? So, we've got castles that go underground. Of course we have airships. A wandering, gambling, free spirit with nothing and everything to lose. Say hello to Setzer. The only airship in the world. Better than swimming. Yeah, we'll set up a meeting. Wonder how we'll do that. Apparently he wants to steal Maria away. And I guess Celeste looks like Maria. Maybe we can figure something out at the Opera House. But first, I want to pursue our lead on... what does he say specifically? What used to be here might be up north. Well, I guess if you haven't played the game before, you might not know what he's referring to. We'll take a Chocobo, though, to save some time. Although I do want to show some combat. We'll walk it. We'll leg it. I kind of want the next episode to be special anyway, so we can do a couple little side adventures here for today and talk about magic. Alright, combat! Perfect. I want to go to Celeste's first. So now, when you select your magic, you've got all your magic that you've learned as you go through. If you press up, you get another little menu, which lets you summon, as a combat turn, your Esper. Now, the effect is different for each Esper, and you can only summon them once per battle. I don't think Brave New Worlds changed that. We'll find out eventually. But they're quite expensive. Like, you have to spend a lot of MP. So, be careful that you don't drain all your MP by that. Anyway, we'll see what Ramu does. You might be able to guess. Oh, we won't see what Ramu does. Let's see what Stray does. Alright. Kate Sith attack. I think it just muddled everything, and maybe inflicted sap. Alright, let's try out Siren. Let's see what this one does. Some of them are far more useful than others. Ah, that's one of the unedited sprites. In the North American version, she would have pants on. I don't know what that did. I actually don't know what Siren does. That's a good question. Wow, the one I really wanted to show you is Ramu. Well, I'm pretty sure this guy is dead. So if you're familiar with the Final Fantasy series at all, you would have guessed that Ramu would come and do lightning damage. Which, of course, didn't work. Because, for whatever reason, brawlers are immune to lightning. Whoever invented that? Guy with no shirt on is immune to lightning. I guess they're sort of earth elemental because they can do some sort of stone throw attack. Still seems dumb to me. Alright, we need to show off another one. I think Kirin is the last one. And this is our defensive one. It casts on ourselves. I'll try this again to see the damage. But Kirin, I know, is really good, and Ramu is a solid lightning attack. It should do more damage than anything else we can dish out at this point in terms of targeted, like, area of effect attack. So, Lifeguard! Apparently that's what a Kirin is there, by the way. So that's a small heal to everyone plus regeneration. It might cure status ailments too, although I'm not 100% sure. There you go, pretty good damage, right? So, pretty good lightning damage, summon Ramu. Target all regeneration with maybe a little bit of healing and perhaps some status recovery depending on the status. Go with Kirin. Stray confused enemies, and Kate Sith confused everything. Siren, I actually don't even know. I could look it up if I have to. Oh, you're out of MP already. Could try Siren again. I actually don't know what it does. Well, I bet you it doesn't work on plants. I mean, I would assume it's like a confuse effect, but we already have Stray, the stray cat that does that. I'm so glad Sabin has auto regen. It's really nice. All right, one more battle to try to figure out the last Esper, and then I might cut the video to get up to that guy's house up north. So it was not Locke. Oh, good. Well, it's just gonna be like that, isn't it? Stray is confused. Siren is half that. I wonder if it just puts them to sleep or something. That's a pretty weak... Oh, he's... I could have... He's just auto-hasted. I thought he was Berserk. My bad. One more battle, then. Unfortunately, for the most part, if you've got Bioblaster Edgar or Fire Dance Sabin, they probably dish out as much magic damage as something like Ramuh does, and they don't cost nearly as much MP. In general, especially in the vanilla Final Fantasy VI, I don't use espers very often. They have some good special effects, and in some situations they're really useful, but oftentimes they're just too MP expensive. Like, I can't even select it because it's 48 MP. It's just... Oh, Edgar died. Why is he dead? It's just too much work, basically. For, like I guess, like, you saw how much damage. So, if, oh, come on. I'm gonna die here. If you can spend 48 MP to cast Ramuh, who does something like, what were we talking about? 800 damage, give or take, maybe? Or you can do it for free with Bioblaster or Fire Dance. I mean, like, it's a tough sell. So, unfortunately, what we just had happen there is because Edgar was dead, he's going to be off. He's no longer in sync with the other characters for Esper levels. I hate it when that happens. I like to keep everyone at the same experience rating. Just proves that I really need to remember to heal between every battle. Even though we're pretty high level for this area now, still have a reasonably good chance of just dying. I didn't show you this trip before. I'm showing it now to try to show off Siren, and I just can't even ever use it. It's pretty good. We're having a good time here. So theoretically, we could use Ice 2. So this is another one you can target all. We'll see how much damage this does compared to Ramuh. I believe Ramuh doesn't drop off in damage for multi-target, whereas Ice 2 would do max damage single target, and then, you know, 50% if you multi-target. But still, that's pretty good damage there, right? Like, for half the price of Ramuh. Almost there. Just avoid Kohinglin for a second. Head right up to this guy's house. It's good. This gives me lots of money, too. Alright, this time for sure, right? Siren, do something! Alright. Does it put him to sleep? Does it do anything at all? Confuse? Sleep? I don't even know. I guess we could check. So if they're asleep, but it attacked immediately. I don't know what it's supposed to do. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Siren just seems to be pretty bad. I'm sure it has a chance to do something. If they were put asleep, technically we could have used Celeste's scan spell to check what statuses they had. And if they were under sleep effect, we could have seen it there. But on the other hand, they also attacked almost immediately anyway, so I don't think it did that. I mean, they could easily be immune to sleep effect. That's the trouble with status inflictions. You never know which enemies are completely immune to it, or just have like a good resistance to it. I hope you enjoyed the walk back to Kohinglin. seem to miss a lot more these days. I know I was talking about that a few episodes ago, but especially these birds and maybe somewhat more evasive enemies, it seems like we're missing our attacks constantly. Alright, we're almost there. Yeah! Alright, let's talk to the crazy old man in his house. Let's see if this works. I see that you have some big shiny rocks that look like this big shiny rock. So, just donate to his Coliseum fund. It's totally worth it. Alright. So, usually in Jadur, once you've unlocked espers, you can buy 2 of them. Although it takes some time. I believe for us here, we can only get the 1, and we have to come back later to this guy's house. The way Brave New World works. He will sell 2, but not at the same time. So we'll have to come back later on. And, so what do we just get there, then, is the big question. We got the Golem Esper. So this one gives us Vigor and HP. And guess who can equip it? Good old Sabin. So for just an equip bonus, we can either have status protection or a small bonus to his physical defense. I don't think the equip bonus is all that impressive, but what I do think is Vigor and HP are exactly what I want for Sabin right now. Because for now, he's my regenerating protector that has the Knight's Cape to protect his allies. So I think that'll help out a lot. Also, it gives us a couple more spell options. Safe is good for boss battles. Stop, I don't know if it'll ever work. Certain enemies maybe, but we'll see. I don't think... Okay, it looks like... never mind. It looks like Edgar can also use Golem. So, I actually kind of want to give him a couple level ups in this as well. I know I was talking earlier about giving him some speed, but Edgar can use the HP as well, and early on, HP is great. So, pick that up. And then Locke already has HP from Ramu, and unfortunately Celeste doesn't have a way to gain HP yet. Not everyone has the ability to improve their max HP from espers. And I would say until you've got like 800 or 900 or 1000 HP, it's probably worth investing a few hundred points from esper levels. At least that's my opinion on the matter. Alright, let's grab our Chocobo. And I'm tempted to do a little bit more grinding, but I won't. We'll just have one little Chocobo adventure before we end the episode. I know we didn't really make a lot of progress today, but I wanted to show off all of the Esper stuff. Oops, get stuck. I wanted to show off the Esper stuff and talk about it a little bit because it's quite a big change from the original Final Fantasy VI. And as we get more of them, there'll be more and more strategy for, you know, what Esper to equip when. As you may have noticed, like, Ramu provides passively, if you equip it, 50% lightning damage protection. So if you're fighting a boss that can cast Bolt, or just lightning type attacks, having someone with Ramu equipped is suddenly a really good idea, or the correct status protection. It's hard enough to get the right accessories or relics for status protection. Now you can add some of your espers into the mix to help out. Alright, so the last thing I want to do for today, before we end the episode, is I'm going to equip Golem temporarily, because I want to show his summon off. This, actually, I might just leave him. I mean, blocking poison doesn't really matter, because he's got regen. Protection from Imp and Berserk is nice, but Golem has a really nifty summon effect, although we need some more MP. Of course I get into combat. Of course. And of course they put him to sleep before he can act. These enemies are so rude. I will not miss this Clohingland area. Not at all. Oh, good job, Blue. I don't think there's any way to give the whole team sleep protection right now. And the bugs just always put the right person to sleep every turn. Like, it's just ridiculous. And I think the fighters actually counterattack physical, so this is potentially a problem. Oh, never mind. Maybe it's just a % chance. Alright. Just bear with me for a second, everyone. Let's go get some MP back. I trust me when I say Golem is a really good summon, and you probably do want to learn it. Or, like, keep one equipped a lot of the times. Unlike the other espers that have, like, kind of a duplicated effect. I mean, Kirin with the regeneration for everyone is pretty awesome, because normally that would take 4 turns to cast regen 4 times. You know, Stray and Siren didn't seem very good. Ramu was pretty expensive for what damage it did. But Golem has a rather unique status effect. So we'll just try to get into a random battle here quick. That should do, as long as Sabin cannot die in the first 2 seconds. Alright, 56 MP, it's expensive. It's the most expensive one yet. But what does Golem do? Well, those of you familiar with Final Fantasy V might have a bit of an idea. He looks a little different, don't get me wrong. But now, anytime, Golem will block an awful lot of damage. And it doesn't work on magical, I believe, but it should prevent a ton of physical damage. To the whole party. Like, there's no, like, we're all protected by it, basically. I'm not sure the exact totals. I believe the game has it calculated based on the caster's magic stat, maybe? Or something like that. But you can see it says 11 damage when people, when the hand blocks it. But just so you know, for like a boss battle, we're not taking HP damage. That damage is applied to sort of Golem, and like when we cast Golem, he gets, I don't know, like 1,000 HP or something, quite a lot from what I hear, and he will just block that amount of damage. And then once it runs out, we take damage. But still, that's pretty good. You know, if you're fighting a boss fight that's not using a ton of magic that you can't do anything about, the magic makes it a little bit more rude, obviously, but I guess that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to show off a little bit of esperification, you know, have some fun with espers. And then next time we'll head on down to the opera, which I promise is worth the wait. The opera scenario in Final Fantasy VI is perhaps the most iconic set of events in the entire game. So perhaps on the entire Super Nintendo, from all games even. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. Sorry we didn't get to it today, but next time probably. Well, next time for sure. Alright folks, we could also grind up some Esper levels, but it's going to start slowing down. We got the first 3 pretty quick. I'll get Edgar one more, I guess, off camera, but yeah, I don't think we'll go any further. And for now, I'll just be spending them on, if possible, HP like that. And Edgar still needs his. And not like Locke has any other choice. But look at how much of a difference this makes. With 3 Esper levels, that's 90 HP. He's gone from 270 to 368. Like, that makes him a lot more durable. Like, you know, when the enemies are doing attacks that do 200 damage, suddenly a little bit of regeneration or just a little bit of luck and he's not dead. Whereas in the past, he would have gone down a little bit too quickly for my taste. And then for Celeste, for now, we'll just give her magic and speed. Alright, folks. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have enjoyed. I will see you next time for our opera adventure.